It's straight up just BS.
When fans can return to this stadium for a game is still unknown, but one player says they could be facing the largest pay cut among staff if they take the league's latest proposal on a return to play.
By Evans, the kick is blocked. It's blocked.
Guys could go home with a couple grand, because this is the number they're projecting is stuff before taxes, and excluding the exchange rate between U.S. and Canada.
Reports say the league is looking at a shortened training camp, less time between games, and more of a third of their salaries cut.
Because a lot of guys have jobs, in the States. So to say, hey, quit this job for potentially a prorated salary, it's going to be a lot of guys who don't want to do that, and rightfully so. You have to think of their families. You have to think of their health and all these different things. And would you be okay with not seeing your family for 15 weeks on possibilities?
They're not $1 million salaries by any stretch of the imagination, but there are some higher salaries. But you're also seeing a lot of the league superstars say, I'm not going to come up and play this season for that type of money.
Talks between the league and CFL Players Association have been messy.
Players were not allowed to self-terminate their contracts. They weren't getting paid outside of their base salaries. There were some guys who still had not been paid since last November. Then on June 18th, a couple days later, we get an open letter from the league saying that CFL executives have taken a pay cut. They've asked coaches and GMs and scouts to take a pay cut.
Evans down that far rail.
Reports say the CFL sent Ottawa a revised financial request last Friday, asking for $42.5 million in aid, down from the original $150 million request in the case of a canceled 2020 season.
We are taking the biggest risk. We're the ones that are going to have to be in the bubbles. The owners are not going to be in that bubble. They 100% will not be in that bubble.
The union says the CFL has potential, but it will always be a second-tier league if it keeps players on the sidelines when decisions are being made.
We're going through a pandemic where everybody's hurting. It's now the time. This is the best time to come together and get out of this together.
City News reached out to the CFL for comment, but did not hear back in time for broadcast. In Calgary, Crystal Adaris, City News.